Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Fitness Education Series produced by the Australian Fitness Academy. It's like progressive overload for your brain. I'm your host, Tom Rock, and in today's episode, I'm just going to talk about creating a sustainable weight loss plan and I guess why it's important. And we'll just go into some details about what it might include. But I think this episode comes off the back of something I saw on Instagram, just a PT. Um, and sort of his post was just discussing the fact that being fit and healthy and having a healthy, active lifestyle is not always easy and is not easy. If it was super easy, everyone would do it, and there'd be no need for personal trainers really. But I think um, it's a great topic to bring up, and that's why personal training is a career and is a job because we're needed to help individuals and help people become fit and healthy or learn to implement or include health and fitness in their lifestyle and teach them how to do that at a sustainable level and give them the tools to be able to implement that for life. And I think that's where you'll have weight loss is obviously a common goal for a lot of clients, and it's important to have a very sort of holistic plan, I guess, that is sustainable over a long period, so they can achieve their weight loss goal, but also maintain it. And it's not easy, and you don't want to scare people in the fact that it's the hardest thing they're ever going to do, and everyone that's fit and healthy is just doing these unattainable things because it's achievable. But I think like anything, starting with small steps and sort of progressing slowly is the key. If you try to do everything at once or overhaul your client's lifestyle all in one go, it's not going to be sustainable, and they're likely going to sort of relapse or not maintain it. And once they stop implementing these practices or doing this exercise, they're going to start to either put the weight back on or stop losing weight and potentially get heavier than they were. So it's I sort of sometimes you've got to look at your job and providing educating clients and giving them the tools so they can sort of live and live that healthy lifestyle and creating a sustainable weight loss plan, I think, is an important way to look at it. So it's all encompassing. So obviously, a lot of as a personal trainer, a lot of our time is spent in the gym, and that's where our interactions are going to be with our clients, taking them through their exercise component of their weight loss plan. But I think it's important to discuss with them all the stuff outside of the gym that they do, whether it's nutrition, whether it's just incidental exercise outside of the gym, um, and maybe their sleep, maybe their recovery, all sorts of things that are going to affect their ability to lose weight in the long run and sustain it. All these things come under your ability to hopefully educate them on. And if you can do that well, it's going to help them see results, but also maintain these results. Um, and obviously, it's going to be completely different for every single client you get. And that's an important factor as well. I think you want to individualize it as much as you can. You can definitely have a sort of a template you use, but then you want to be able to manipulate that and individualize it based on specific client needs and specific client circumstances, whether that's how busy they are, what they do for work, all sorts of things um, you might need to take into account when I guess you create a weight loss plan for someone. Um, and I think as a personal trainer or someone out there who has a lot of or has implemented or lives a healthy, active lifestyle, you'll probably do some things that you just take for granted or you don't even have to think about anymore. They're sort of, I guess, they're habits now. Whether it's exercising regularly, five times a week, whatever it is, eating regularly healthy foods and preparing healthy whole foods. You might just take these things for granted, um, and maybe it's going to bed on time or getting up on time or making sure you get sort of 7 to 8 hours sleep every night. All these things help us or can potentially help us with a sustainable weight loss plan. And clients will have different factors that affect their ability to do this. And that might be reasons why they're currently not as healthy as they'd like to be. But as a personal trainer, I think the more you can expand your knowledge about tools that are out there, whether it's different apps, whether it's different methods in terms of meal prep, whether it's different methods or modes of exercise, so you can tailor what you prescribe to clients based on what their ability is or what they have access to. So if I want someone to do, they come in, they do their resistance training with me, but I think, okay, you need to get some light or long distance aerobic activity on the other days just to keep maintaining that or improve your cardiovascular fitness, to improve your health, all that sort of thing. If I tell them to go for a run 3 nights a week, but they get knee pain when they run, that prescription is not very useful. If I tell them they need to go for a ride on a bike, but they don't know how to ride a bike, or they don't have access to a bike, or they don't have anywhere safe to ride based on it's dark when they get home and there's nowhere really good to ride, that sort of creates roadblocks for them. So that's where I think individualization is key. Give clients things they can do, but also don't feel like you have to give them everything at once. If they're there for their first few sessions, just focus on what they're doing in the gym, teach them how to exercise well and get them enjoying what they do in the gym. As they sort of slowly progress there and that sort of starts to become a habit, maybe you do start talking about nutrition, or you can go down the path of, okay, what are we doing on the days that you're not seeing me? So if they come see and train with you twice per week, what are they doing on the other days that could potentially help sustain that weight loss over the long run, which might be that incidental exercise. Maybe it's getting a certain amount of steps every day, that sort of thing. Gives them little targets to hit, which can again be quite motivational for them to continue. And then you might start to discuss nutrition and give them tools. So rather than just say, oh, you need to eat healthy, eat whole foods, how do they do that? And I think our scope of practice as nutrition is obviously we need to give advice based on the healthy eating guidelines, but that also includes giving ideas on different types of meals they could cook or how to prepare food potentially. So giving them different ideas of what they can have for breakfast or what they can have for dinner, giving them access to some resources, whether it's some online, the Eat for Health Educator Guide on the Australian Eat for Health website. There's lots of different tools there they can start to utilize and build their skills in and knowledge in food that's healthy but potentially easy to cook if saving time is an issue. So I think when you look at helping a client and seeing them progress, and generally we're talking about a weight loss goal, it happens with all goals though, creating a plan and giving them little things to do every day is important. But also it's good to reflect on, I think, and understand what you're asking clients to do. If someone asks you to completely change your lifestyle, it's not the easiest thing to implement, especially if you've been doing the same thing for 5 or 6 years. It's not easy to suddenly start getting up at 6 a.m. to go for a run. If you've currently been sleeping till 7:30 every day, going to bed at 11 p.m., and all of a sudden you get told to get up early, go to the gym, get these steps in, only eat healthy meals, no takeaway. All these massive lifestyle changes are going to be hard to implement in the long run. So just be aware that it's not easy. And sometimes if you've been doing these things, whether it's exercise, eating healthy, for a long period of time, and we've got good at it potentially as a personal trainer, that's our profession. We're professionals at healthy, active lifestyles and how to implement that and teaching people to do that. But sometimes it's easy to lose sight of, well, how much we actually do, and what we think is easy is not necessarily easy for them. So while you want to create a good holistic plan, just be careful on how you implement it, and talk them through it. Sometimes it's not as easy as we think, so small steps can be good, but eventually you want to get to that space where you've educated them on how to exercise, keeping some daily routine in there, eating healthy food, but potentially also how to enjoy unhealthy food, and measuring that, and making sure they're eating the good stuff a majority of the time, and that it is okay to have a treat now and then or go out for dinner with friends and things like that, and how to manage that as a lifestyle. So they don't see, obviously, once they go through that weight loss period and they're at a weight that they're happy with, how can they maintain that? If they understand what a healthy lifestyle is, they can just continue to live that and be happy and healthy, and they've learnt those skills to allow them to do that, so they can live longer, be more active, and potentially do more things they enjoy for a longer period of time, and increase their quality of life, which is what we want. So lots of good things to think about there. Anyway, that's just my thoughts off the back of that sort of post, guys. But I think it's easy to overestimate what we do in terms of staying healthy and fit and active. So yeah, just consider that when you go to look at changing someone's lifestyle and teaching them how to exercise, all these sorts of things. Sometimes slow approach is needed. We can't just overhaul them and expect them to just come in week one and go bang and start living this really healthy lifestyle that's completely different to what they are. Anyway, guys, if you've got any thoughts on that, please send me an email at tom@afa.com.au, or you can sort of comment below. Or if you have any other topics or questions that you'd like me to cover or discuss, send me an email as well. Definitely happy to cover anything you guys would like to hear me talk about. Other than that, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all soon.